Doesn't look like any changes to your lineup here based on what we saw morning skate.
No, this will be the group. There's some guys on the cusp I think deserve a chance. I think Drake's played really well, and he played back-to-back games, so we'll give him a breather. And Bales was hurt, so we want to give him another look. So, this is what we're going with.
Drake was down at the other end of the ice when you guys were running through drills, and he was with Josh Norris, and that had to have been an encouraging sign for you.
It is, but it's a work in progress for us. We had thought he would be in much earlier than this. We're working with Josh, to get him out there. But again, the player has to be 100% healthy, and he has to be 100% mentally. At the spot that he knows he's going to go out there and do well. So we're working with him here, but it's a good sign that he's out there.
When you're evaluating, your player's body of work over preseason, how much emphasis is the games itself versus what you see from them throughout the course of camp?
Well, throughout camp's great, but the games, obviously, especially when you play teams that have the majority of their lineup in, that's a real good chance to see what you might look against an NHL roster. But the things that you do, the little things, it's a long process. I mean, camp's been going on a while. We're down to the nitty gritty here, and these are the guys that are knocking on doors for jobs.
And when you have guys knocking on the door for jobs, is making an impact a big thing, or just more so like sticking to the game plan? Like sometimes players can maybe get too cheeky and cute with it, trying to do too much.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you got to know what your role is. On our team, where you're not trying to be the top line left winger. That spot's filled. I'd be lying to you if I said you came in as a centerman and you played unbelievable, you're going to take Timmy's spot. You're just not. You got to know what role you're playing and then be the best at that role possible. But ultimately, the best 20 guys will be the guys that play against Carolina.
One last question for me. Obviously, from the start of camp to now, things change and whatnot. But I'm just curious, for the young guys and the younger players, how important are these next two games in terms of seeing how they size up, whether they make the team or not, but just seeing how they size up against NHL parts? How important is that for you?
Yeah, for sure. And not only that, it's the pressure of feeling that. There's no more pressure than the NHL itself. So, part of that is dealing with that pressure and then how you respond to it, because then we'll get a little better look as to maybe what you would look like, in game 2 or 3 at home in front of the crowd and, the chips are down. Those are all things that go into it.
Are you anxious to get this one going here tonight as camp winds down and the competition picks up?
I mean, just excited. I think all the guys are kind of ready to finish these 2 games strong and kind of get feeling our best before we head into the regular season. So I think tonight's going to be a good challenge, and it's going to feel like their full lineup, so it'll be good for us to really get that true competition feeling. I think myself and everybody in the room are just excited for the opportunity.
Nice to come off a recharge of the batteries as well in the little excursion that you had.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great for team building and chemistry and all that stuff. So we had a good day to reset there in Fox Harbor and a lot of good laughs with the boys. So I think everybody's feeling good and feeling fresh for this one. So there should be no excuses. And I know it's been a long trip, but everybody's should be fresh and ready to go.
What are we seeing from your game when it's on at its best?
I think when it's on, I'm always competing and I'm always working. I think winning draws, winning face-offs. Hopefully, I feel like with this camp, I've been more reliable on the penalty kill, which is a role I've been looking to kind of build off of from last year. And I think when I'm on, I'm skating well, I'm moving well, and just getting pucks and bodies to the net.
You're playing a heavy lineup like you are tonight. Is that suited to your game as well?
I think so. They got some big boys over there, but I think everybody is not afraid on our side. And I think for a guy like myself, it's going to be more of a heavy game, and I think that's good for me, and that's something I try to play every night. So it's nothing different, and I just try to compete and play hard against whoever it is, no matter how big they are.
How much different is this final week of training camp compared to the rest of it in your experience?
I think just as it gets going, everything gets sharper, quicker, and the competition ramps up just with less guys being here, and everybody wants to make the team and be a part of it. So I think the first week everybody's feeling good, everybody's a little bit more relaxed, and then once you kind of start to realize that guys are getting cut and all that stuff, it becomes more real. And I think for myself, I'm just trying to stay confident in myself and stay positive. So I think it's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's exciting too. It's an exciting opportunity, and you're getting that much closer to the regular season, so everybody's more excited.
Just one more for me. People have mixed opinions on if it's the right amount of preseason games, too many, not enough, whatnot. But what do you think about just like having those first couple ones where it's kind of a split squad roster as a tune-up to these kind of final 2 games?
I think it's good. I think obviously with the more bodies, there's more room for split squads like that, and it's a good tune-up. And I think with each preseason game, the roster becomes more and more like how you're going to see on opening night. So I think it works out well that way, and I'm happy with how everything's been going.